What's up, everybody? Tis I, Photo Dave of Toypixx, and tonight, this is your show, kids, because I'm going to give you a couple photo tips I know, but I also am going to want you to throw your hat in the ring and let me know some photo tips that you mess with just so I can get some help too, because, hey, I can't possibly know it all. Like I've said many times, I'm a bad nerd. I also don't know everything when it comes to photography. So, if you're catching this on the replay, fire off your photo tips in the comments. And here's something else we're going to start tonight's stream with. I want you to let me know what the latest figures you've picked up are. Now, to the chat, and I saw this quick. I saw all caps, star. What's going on, man? Now, this is what I saw. Did you see? Did you see it? Tamashi Nations announced SH Figuarts Lord of the Rings and displaying the first 6-inch figs at the next con. Why did that come into my head last week? I have no idea. Here's the thing. Lord of the Rings is one of those things that's going to be it's going to be something that people are nostalgic for, so it probably made sense in your head. It certainly makes sense in Tamashi Nation's head, but those are going to be some very cool figures. I'm not even a sword and sorcery guy, and I can't wait to see what those things look like. So, very cool announcement there, Star. Thanks for letting us know. Because, yeah, I did not see that. What are the odds that I would see that in my head right then? This happens one more time, and I'm on the next flight to Vegas. Not only are you on the next flight to Vegas, but the next thing you need to do is just wish all the lines to life. Because you do that clearly for whatever reason, Star. The universe is on your side. You know what to do. What's going on, Ghost Tab? Thank you for stopping by, sir. Ahoy, wreck ship. Good to see ya. Let's see. Awesome sauce. Hello, Nolan. Thanks for stopping in. Woo. What do we have now? Sci-Fi George, greetings and salutations to all my fellow toy scoundrels and scallywags. I will take it. I am totally good with being both a scoundrel and a scallywag. Good to see you, George. Thanks for stopping in. Ah, always love it, guys. Always love you guys coming in, saying hola to the people. It's the good stuff. All right, Mirage Rat King, Nemesis Immortal. I think that was it for this week. I have another large pile of loot I need to ship. Oh dear, what do you think of that Rat King, Mr. Matson? This is something I need to know. I saw it in Target a couple weeks ago, and I thought that's something that needs to be added to the collection, I think. But I'm just curious what you're thinking of him. All right, guys, in case you weren't here at the very beginning, what's going to happen is I'm going to give a few photo tips, but I want you to give me some photo tips as well. But what we're going to start with is letting me know what your latest acquisitions are. I guess I'm going to have to start talking that way and starting everything I say with behold. Whatever you need to do. I'll tell you, I'll give you some ideas for things that you need to wish into existence. Good evening, Great War Gallery. Good to see you, sir. Also, you'll be getting a package in the mail at some point soon. Congratulations. Great War Gallery was the winner of this month's Patreon photo contest. I'm sorry, of October's. Come on, Mezco. Give me my Blade Runner. Ooh, that's true. You were talking about him. Or that line. Dirt. Last figure I got was Nemesis, and I already shared my mild disappointment with it here. That's fair. But I do have some custom heads from Athanatos Unlimited that should be here in the next couple days. I don't know Athanatos Unlimited. I'll have to check that out. For me, I haven't picked up anything, though I am tempted. I was in Target today, and I saw kind of the refresh of Ryu and Chun-Li, and I know that Ryu definitely looks a little less yellow, so I was tempted to pick him up, but I held off for now. We'll see. And I'm wondering, has anybody gotten the second run of Chun-Li? Because my Chun-Li, one of the heads was really loose on the neck ball, and if they fix that, I'm kind of curious about getting a second one of her as well. But the stuff that I have on pre-order, or the ones I just pre-ordered the Entertainment Earth's white player Ken, like the player 2 Ken. And then I also pre-ordered the whatever, I think Hyper Bomb Mega Man, the green one. So yeah, can't wait till those guys show up. What have I done? Oh, never mind. I'm all over the place. Probably my only photo tip would be remember to remove the lens cap. Nolan, that is a great photo tip because without that tip, I'm not sure any pictures are getting taken. So thank you, sir. Mr. Matson, I debated on Rat King. Finally just picked him up. He's awesome if you like the Mirage design, and I do. I also got the glow in the dark IDW BST action a while ago. Completely different designs. This is true. That was a skinny. What was the deal? I remember I read that for, I can't remember. It was, I read it up until Venus de Milo, like up until, not until that, but just a few issues past it. And then I just didn't keep going because I was catching up on it, and then I would have had to wait for other issues to come out so I could keep catching up, and I just lost interest waiting. So I could probably go back and check those out again. But wasn't Rat King like he was some kind of god, or I can't remember what the deal was with IDW. I know with Mirage, it's all kind of weird what he is. It's all kind of in flux half the time. Star, and still no Jada Edge Runners. I can't take this much longer. June hears you. I don't know that. June's probably not watching. But if you are June, we're going to need this Edge Runners pre order to go up soon, especially if they're on the boat from China. Star's life might just depend on it. Mr. Manson, wreck ship. Let's see. I need to mod mine. I have to fix his torso. Is that the Nemesis? I need to reissue Ryu since one of my head sculpts was damaged. BBTS refunded my purchase since they didn't have a replacement at the time. Got it. Got it. Latest pickups for me, Nemesis Immortal, and finally found the classified Tiger Paw. Nice pickup, sir. Congratulations. I saw that at Target too. I was kind of surprised. What's going on, Mr. Mad Gus? Thank you for stopping by. Could I say that any cheesier? Let's see. I honestly just need him to have some kind of boot cut rotation. Okay, let's see. I like how I just sounded totally exasperated there. Let's see. Skew, what's going on, man? Star, I'm really impressed with the Jada Phalon. Love the articulation, love the feel of the plastic. Just a truly great, well made fig. I'm telling you, Star, you need to get more. I mean, I'm not an enabler at all, but we all need to pick up all the Jada and all the Mofex. Once we pick up all the Jada and all the Mofex, then you guys can collect whatever else you want. But those we have to just have them all. Neko is being shouted as well, but that's an awful lot for us all to catch up on. My Nemesis Immortal should be here Tuesday. See, I think that thing has such a cool design, Nolan. Congratulations, man. Okay, okay. We're just about caught up here. Mr. Matson, wreck ship. At least you had thigh cut. The boot cut isn't that important to me. Ah, yes. Mr. Madgus, just waiting for my dragonfly. Received my shipped notice today. I can't wait to start seeing pictures of that thing. Like people putting that thing in action, that's going to be a blast. Personal taste and character or aesthetics aside, much like AWOC, I think their figure quality is genuinely beyond reproach. Yeah, I mean, it's insane how good they are. I wish I had one. Like, I've got some things on the table behind me, but I don't have. What do I have? Oh, you know what? Give me just a sec. I do have Chun Li. And this is what I was talking about, guys. Check out her head here. Okay. That's what I mean. That's a pretty loose head. So I was wondering if anybody's picked up the second one or the kind of the reissue, maybe, or the second batch, and could let me know if her head isn't quite so. That's it. That's an official term, by the way. All right. Awesome sauce, you. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Have you seen Leon Hobbs' Dragonfly pics? They are awesome. I have not. I'll have to go check those out. Thank you, sir. All right, just about good. Got mine too. Dragonfly just checked on the way. Congratulations, Stu. That is so cool, man. Just no, Mr. Madgus. This is a PG show. See, okay. So let's talk just real quick. A couple tips I've got. And if you guys think of other stuff that you've come up with that you want to check out, or that maybe, in fact, you have picked up recently you forgot about, let me know. Now, this one, I think everybody was here when I discussed this last time, but now that I have Chun Li here, let me do something, show you what's up. I've got, I'm going to take a quick picture of Chun Li here just so I can show you what's going on. Just regular. And then I'm going to take another picture of her with the lens on the bottom of the screen, because this is the easiest possible way to show you how this works. So here, of course, it's a little tricky when this is going on. There we go. All right, let's back it up a bit. There you go. Okay, so there's Chun Li, just kind of with the camera shot straight on. Now there she is with the lens on the bottom. Oh, come on. We just got it. But you can see the total difference in the way the picture looks if I can keep it from glowing totally white there. Yeah, there you go. So one of the big tricks is simply flipping your phone upside down. So if this is the first time you've seen this, or you're watching this and you haven't participated in the chat, then now you know. And hey, you know how the rest of that saying goes if you're watching this, I think. So that's the first tip I've got. Just simply change the perspective of your phone, see what's up, see what you get, and we'll get into more tips here after I see what's going on in the chat with these guys. That Dragonfly and Wild Bill look awesome. I kind of wanted, what was her name? The pilot, like the co pilot, not the co pilot, Glenda. I kind of wanted Glenda. You know why? Extra hands. I know. I'm sick. As long as Chun Li doesn't bite. Good Lord. People, you're killing me. Let's see. I was sold when I first saw Wild Bill. Crap, I gotta go, guys. Need to meet up with someone in a bit. I'll get you all in the next one. Take care, Dave. See you, gang. Star. That's all right, man. Enjoy the night. Have fun. Smooth sailing. Ah, I see what you're doing there, wreck ship. Kind of like with the ahoy. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Extra hands. That's so me. I'm going to back this up a little bit. My head is looking huge. Let's see. You're keeping her mint, huh? You're not even opening her, eh? Or are you keeping her mint in effort to sell her? All right, so that was the first trick that I've got. Something else, and I know a lot of people that watch this have droids, and here I am with an iPhone, but in case you're not paying attention or in case you're not in the chat itself, then let me show you this little trick here. I've got my huge bottle of Pellegrino. All it does is make the water sparkle, but it looks like a huge wine bottle, so I get to look like a lush. It's fantastic. All right. So this next trick I'm going to show you. I like doing this in real time. So what I've done is, if you see the bottom there, I've set my camera to portrait. And the reason that I set it to portrait, and if you have a droid, you'll be able to do your own thing. It sounds like you can just mess with this there, but it makes it so I can kind of mess with the edits. I can edit the aperture after I take the picture. So I'm gonna focus on Chun-Li. I'm gonna take the picture. Now what I'm gonna do here just real quick is I'm gonna crop her a little bit just so we don't have to get too nuts. You can see exactly what I'm talking about that way. Okay, now let me get there. There we go. So let's try this again. You can see Chun-Li there very clearly, but you see how blurry the background is. That's because I took it in portrait. Now what I'm going to do is hit edit, and you'll see here. Let's do this. You can kind of see the blur there, right? Now I wish I could do this and show you guys, but now if I go all the way to the side, you can see that it's gotten a lot clearer. Now if I go all the way the other way, you can see that her face is clear, but everything else got good and blurry. So that's the advantage of taking a photo if you have an iPhone in portrait mode, is you can just mess with the aperture, and it's really kind of cool. I like getting to play with the blur deal. So there was that. Now Ghost have Pellegrini is too late. Vintage seltzer for the win. Ooh, I haven't heard of vintage seltzer. I might need to try that. I'm trying to be good. I've had too much Coke lately, so I'm trying to get something that's carbonated, but with much less sugar. I love the Rattler more than the Dragonfly, but love the Dragonfly crew more than the Rattlers for the HasLab. Still waiting for my Dragonfly. It's all right. It's coming. I'm sure it's going to be there. And when it is Sci-Fi George, brilliant pictures are going to be shot. I'm confident. Cat Slayer will supposedly ship end of December, if not earlier. We want Thundercats. We'll catch up with Rattler ASAP. Did anybody in the chat get the Cat Slayer? Did you get the Cat Slayer SKU? Because that's one of those toys that there's never going to be another Cat Slayer like that ever. It's like the real Ghostbusters that Mondo's doing right now. If you're into it, there's never going to be a better set. If you were into Thundercats, there's never going to be a better Cat Slayer. So it's one of those kinds of toys, which just makes it really cool if you're into it, you know? Sci-fi. Sanola. Now I should sing. Let's see, Chun-Li looks like she watched Joker too. I've heard only bad things about Joker 2, so I'm just not going to watch it. That's an awesome tip. I had no idea you can adjust the aperture after the picture is taken. Yes, sir. That's with the iPhone. Now, from what I've understood from listening to people with droids, you've got that same ability with a droid. It's just a little differently set up, I guess. But yeah, it's a great function. And if I had missed Chun Li's face, like trying to focus on her face, right? If I'd accidentally gotten next to her and the background ended up clear, you can adjust the focus so it's back on her face, and then the background will get blurry. So you can edit the aperture all the way around. It's really cool. Do, da, 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 da. It's gonna be like having a flag now. Yep, yep. That's what the cat's lair is gonna be like. Ooh, another 10 years. Yep, I got you, Mister Mad Gus. In another 10 years, anybody that still has a cat's lair, 20 years, people are gonna you're gonna be able to sell that thing for thousands. Yep, I was into them heavy at the end of childhood. Brave Star 2 and Joe, Taste of TMNT, watching younger neighbors go crazy, but that's when I left out. Got it, Skew Raider. I got it. So you got it coming. Nice. Thundercats answering about Lair. I I figured there. I was able to keep up a little bit. All right. So that's what we're at with that one. Now I also grabbed a reflector. Now, I don't have a link to this in the description or anything like that, so I can tell you that these things are fairly cheap. I think I got this one for somewhere like it's right around 15 bucks. But the way it works is really cool, actually. So you've got it flips like mad, and I couldn't possibly explain this. So here is kind of the white side. So you would shine a light on this, and so what would happen is light hits this. So let's say Chun Li is here, right? And let's say I've got a light over here. So the light will hit Chun Li on this side and then bounce off and reflect onto this side. So a reflector is really cool to have. This particular one has this white side. It has kind of this gold tin side. It has a black side in case you just want to try and get things darker. But then the one I really like, especially for Transformers, is it has this more silvery foil side. So that's pretty cool. And then the part that stands it up in the middle acts as a diffuser. So if you don't need to use these at all, you can put this in front of any of your lights and it'll soften the light. And like I said, this whole thing it's a 12-inch reflector and the whole thing was around 15 bucks. I think I saw it on Amazon for around 13 or 14 earlier in the week. But yeah, it's not going to set you back too much. And it's a crazy useful tool. This is a thing that I use when I take shots outside as well. Just because the sun can be a pain to control. Now I'm zipping it up. It happens. And there it is when you're set. All right. Thanks for the tip. Can see the difference. Awesome, Skew. Awesome. I should have had, it's too bad. I should have had like my iPad set up here so I could have bounced it right on there. But alas, nay, nay. I have that same reflector. Good man, Mr. Madsen. That one's it's one of my favorite tools, honestly. Thank you, Skew. Appreciate it. So those are some of the main tips that I've got to talk about. And I'm sure I'll think of some other stuff as we go. There's also the 3-light setup. I just don't have 3 lights here to show you the setup. The idea basically though, if you guys can try and picture it, you know what? I bet I can find a 3-light setup diagram online. So let me give that a shot real quick. Stay signed out, you fiend. Okay, there we go. I've got one. I'm going to open this page and then I'll be sure to share. Oh, come on. All right. Let me share this screen here. I've got a 3 light setup tutorial in the action figure tutorials playlist. So feel free to check that out. That could be helpful as well. But here's the whole deal. Here's the basic 3 light setup. So you've got the key light, you've got the fill light, you've got the backlight. Okay, so the key light generally is set up to be the brightest light. That's where you want the light to hit the figure the hardest, really try and pop out some of the details that way. And then you also want a fill light on the other side, kind of. Now in the tutorial that I talk about the key light and the fill light being basically opposite from each other. So instead of being at kind of this 45-degree angle, I have them 180 degrees away from each other. So you can play, see what you get going on. It works either way. It probably works better if you do it the way that we're looking at right here, depending on the kind of shot you're trying to get. But I mean, you just play till you get what you're after. But a 3 light setup is pretty basic stuff. So the key light, again, that's the brightest light that you've got hitting your figure. The fill light is going to be a softer light. I think most of you have probably seen the LEDs that I use, the LED panels. So I will set one of the LED panels to be a really bright key light, and it will probably be white just so you get the true color of the figure. And then the fill light, I might leave it white. I might use one of the gels over it, just depending on if I want to put a different color there for the figure. And I will soften this fill light using the diffuser and making sure that the brightness is a little lower. Now, on those LEDs that I have, they have a diffuser that you can put into the light itself. So you don't have to worry about buying anything extra. You just get that 3D set or those 3 LEDs and you're totally good. Now, as far as the backlight, it just depends on the effect you want when you're talking brightness here. If you want to do kind of a silhouette style deal, you can really pump up the backlight. In fact, if you wanted to go silhouette, I'd pump up the backlight here and I'd take the fill light and put it here and do the same thing and just remove the key light. And then you've got this really cool silhouette going around the object there. But that's kind of digressing. The backlight can really go anywhere back here just to try and get it some extra kind of separate it. Like the reason you use a backlight is sort of to separate it from the background. So there you go. That's pretty much your basic 3 light setup. And I'm sure that was clear as mud. So if anybody has any questions about that, let me know and I can answer them. What do you all put it on? Prop it up. If you're talking the reflector, what I use because I try to stay bendy, I actually have a yoga block that's heavy enough and I just stand it up there. You could use most anything that's heavy, to be honest, Q. I could put this Pellegrino bottle behind it and it would probably be fine. In fact, here's the bottle. Let's test it up. There you go. So it can work. It just needs to be something like this is really light. So as long as something's just heavier and tall enough to hold on to it, like this coffee mug, I've got water in it, but it's not quite tall enough to hold on to it. So that's why a yoga block works really well. That's why this Pellegrino bottle works really well. And that's why this coffee mug doesn't. And I'm also on a table that's super slidey. Mr. Madga, seeing that reminds me, I have to get one of them flight pad things for a drone. Tip, use one for your dragonflies launch and landing pad. Oh, that is such a cool idea. All right, guys, anybody, like, I'm not getting the dragonfly, so you guys need to do that for us. We need to see what you got going on with that. That's a fantastic idea, Mr. Madgus. Yep. The Toy Odyssey, there's no exact formula when it comes to lighting. It's all trial and error. That's true. But if you're starting out Toy Odyssey, it's always good to look at a lot of the stuff that's just out there to test out what's going on with all this. And once you've got it figured out, then you can jump in and get fancy. It's one of those things, I don't remember if I was taught this or if I learned it on my own, but it's you learn the rules as much as you possibly can. I mean, you learn the rules cold because then you know when you can break them. That sort of deal, you know? But that's a great tip. I mean, you're absolutely right. Once you've been doing it for a while, you can start playing and doing everything. Skew, you bet, man. No problem. See, I've not gotten a shipping update on my Dragonfly yet. Grr. I assume you were one of the early orders, weren't you, Mr. Matson? Like, did you get it? Did you order it in the first few days, or were you more one of the last few days? Because we know nobody really orders in the middle range. By the way, folks, I don't know if I've drank this or drank out of this cup before on the live stream. Mom brought it back from Alcatraz. So I've got an Alcatraz cup here. It's kind of rad. Let's see, institution rules and regulations, U.S. Penitentiary, Alcatraz. Now, I don't know what she was trying to say by bringing back an Alcatraz cup. Maybe you better be good, boy, or I'm gonna send you to the Rock, and then I can hang out with Sean Connery. But anyway, that was it. I do like this thing. This is a pretty cool cup. By the way, just got my shipping email for the Dragonfly. Nice. Oh, you guys are going to kill me. I'm going to get on and I'm going to see all these awesome Dragonfly images. And then I'm going to just go to bed and weep. First few days. Oh, Mr. Matson, that sucks. Well, people are getting the notice. I got to think you'll be getting yours in the next couple days. I have seen a lot of people talking about it. I haven't gotten my shipping notification either. This isn't cool. This isn't cool. All right, that's it. We all get on and we write Lenny on Instagram right now. And we say, Lenny, look, man, I know you're not in charge of shipping at all, but you need to crack a whip on these people. See, Dave, did you buy Giant Man? I did not. The last HasLab I got was the Hiss. So it's been a bit since I loaded up. I have to say, I've been far more tempted to pick up that Ectomobile than I thought I would be. But I mean, I'm holding firm. I think I'm pretty good without it. Plus, I mean, I've got so much more that I need to collect and catch up on and all that stuff. But ooh, they are great, great HasLabs. Like GI Joe, I think is putting out great stuff. I really like the Transformers HasLabs too. Like I might have gone nuts on pretty much all the HasLabs if I were nuts. You know how it is. Let's see, it's got to be in order. Hang in there. Let us know. Pulling for you. Yeah, it'll be somebody's. It'll happen. It'll happen. Also pulling for you too. Let us know. Excited for everyone. Yeah, this thing's going to be very cool when people start loading up on it. Guys, I promise you will get that email very soon. That's what, yeah, I'm seeing enough people reporting getting that email where I have to think in the next day or two. I mean, if you're a company, you want to try and get all these notices out like before or by Friday so you don't have to start over and worry about it again on Monday. So I'm hoping you all get your notices tomorrow, but I have no idea. For I am indeed not Mr. Hasbro. Ah. But when? I was wondering myself. Y'all made me check during the stream. It'll be soon. And I'm just looking at it. I suppose it might not be necessarily from a business perspective on there. It might be more from a me perspective. Like I would want to get all those notifications out and I would want to get everything shipped out before the start of the week so I can start the week fresh. But maybe that's not how they work over there. Huge corporation. I doubt I work the same way as they do. Any cool show you watched this week? Just asking. Ghost Tab. What did I see? I haven't watched anything cool this week. I finished Agatha All Along last week, and I didn't think it was bad. It was another, like, I haven't thought any of the Marvel shows are like good, and I don't, when I say that, they're about average. There's none of the Marvel shows am I going, man, I got to go back and watch that again. There are a couple Star Wars shows where I want to do that. But yeah, Agatha All Along, to get back to that, it was just another kind of mid-range average Marvel show to me. But it wasn't offensive, so I was good with it. I'm about to drive to Chino myself. Break them down, wreck ship. Be like, this is what's going on. I need my dragonfly now. Like Dave said, tomorrow, hopefully. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping everybody gets theirs. Gets their notification over like before the weekend, because that's gonna suck to add 2 more days. Woo! All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Spaded One is in here chatting. I got nothing. I couldn't come up with something to rhyme with listen. This is why I could never beat Eminem in a rap battle. Great work, Gallery. Ghost have been watching season 3 of Vox Machina. I started season 1 of Vox Machina, but again, that was something else. I was like, oh man, it doesn't suck, but I just stopped watching for whatever reason. I'm sure I may have spelled it wrong. I think you got it right, actually. I'm sending Chuckles, Snake Eyes, and Chester Cheetah to Pawtucket on and hop. They will ship. You know what? Chuckles and Snake Eyes, they don't fear that. But Chester Cheetah, he will distract them with Cheetos and make it happen. That's how he rolls. That's what they mean when they say dangerously cheesy. Finally able to catch a live evening, everyone. Andrew Sabina, good evening, man. Thank you for stopping by. Whoo! Let's see. And the Penguin is amazing. I have heard nothing but good about the Penguin. I gotta get on the ball with this stuff. I kind of feel like right now I'm kind of in flux just because I got a few irons in the fire that I got to get ironed out before I can get too crazy about trying to get what I think most would consider a slightly more normal schedule. Scratch that, reverse it, Willy Wonka ship squad. Chino, it is. Well done, Stu. Well done. It wasn't offensive. Another ringing endorsement for a Disney Plus show. It wasn't. I mean, you're right. I mean, let's be honest here. Disney Plus shows aren't generally that great. But when I say it wasn't offensively bad or anything. It was just mid tier. Like I mean, you guys have heard me talk about The Acolyte. That was offensively bad. But I haven't seen much that's really offensively bad. Most of it is just kind of average. Like the exceptions being Mando seasons 1 and 2. I loved like season 7 of the Clone Wars was insanely good. I liked Rebels. I like a lot of the animated stuff. Like I know a lot of people aren't sure about Bad Batch. I thought Bad Batch was really cool. So a lot of the animated stuff that Star Wars is putting out, I tend to like. But when it comes to live action, it's really just been the first 2 seasons of Mando. Like Andor, I accept that it's great sci-fi. I just wasn't a fan because it didn't. There was no levity at all. All right, I'm gonna keep pushing buttons. What else we got, gang? What do we have for crazy? Oh, you know what? Loving the Penguin. There's a trick that I can show you. I'm not sure how well that's going to play off on here. I wish what I should do is find the video I learned it from. I might check it out if it's recommended. Yeah, I've heard great things on the Penguin Ghost Tab. Like, obviously, I can't sit here and say that I saw it and it's amazing, but I can tell you I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it. Haven't seen Penguin, but same. Heard nothing but good things. Yep. All right, let me get a couple more of these chats down. Ghost Tab, I have Penguin episode 7 on my to watch list for tonight. Ba, da, 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 da. Why is Avengers in my head? 5K Toys, Gundam it, we need 112 Penguin, please. Or that Pop Market line. Is Pop Market, are they the ones that did the Superman recently and did the Shazam? Like the Kingdom Come versions? Ghost Tab, it's fire. Okay, the other trick, something else that I can think about right now, right here, right now, is I have an app, and if you guys have watched any of the photo tip, like the action figure photography tutorials on the channel, you might have heard me talking about Best Nightlight, which is a free app you can get on your phones, whether it's Droid or iPhone. And here's what the screen looks like. And what it does, the only one I really use is you see the white light bulb there over, yeah, that. That's the only one I really use. The others are fine, but for lighting, that's the one to go with. So I click that and then, hold on. And then this down here that has, let's see, the three colors, you click that. And now you've got all these colors you can choose. Basically, you're turning your phone into a light source. You can also turn, like I've got this same app on my iPad, so I get to turn that into a light source. And you've got these sliders up here. So you can choose any of these colors and then slide them so that you can make truly whatever color you want. So you can light your figure up with pretty much anything. So I'll take this right now and I selected yellow, and you can see it just made my whole screen yellow. And so now if I have Chun-Li here, you can see that she's yellow up front here. So yeah, turning your phone into a light is awesome. Now there's another trick. Now this is only going to work if you have a real camera. So this is why I showed you that Best Nightlight app. You can take this. One of the coolest effects is if you do this against a black background. And what I recommend is like a felt background because light doesn't bounce on that all that easily, so it stays pretty black. So what you do is you take white, and I just used that Best Nightlight, made it a white light. You put the figure against, let's see here. I'll show you as best I can, but again, you want a real camera to do this because you're going to use your phone to do the lighting. Da, 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 da. And the reason you're going to use your phone is because you're not going to keep it stationary. You're going to move your phone around. So here is Chun-Li against, let me make an adjustment here. Here's Chun-Li against a black background, simulated a little bit, obviously. And what you would do is you would have the room dark. You set it so that it's, let's see, you set your exposure so you're going to be able to get the figure. And then while the camera is taking the shot, so you set the shutter speed, so it's going to go a couple seconds and all that. And while it's taking the shot, you do this so that you're lighting the sides, you're getting a little behind, so you're getting kind of a silhouette effect. And it's really cool, but it all depends on what you set your shutter speed for and how quickly you can take your phone and move it around the figure to get that effect. It's something that I learned that I just didn't even think about. And I was looking up some videos about this stuff one day, and I'm like, ooh, that's a really cool idea. So yeah, again, though, if that was clear as mud, just ask me in the comments and we'll chat about it. Ah, Kitorum. Agatha all along felt like dress up with witches. I mean, yeah, a little bit. See, X-Men 97 was almost a masterpiece sequel for the original cartoon. I 1000% agree, Ghost Tab. I thought X-Men 97 was surprisingly good. I forgot about that, actually. So, yeah, it seems Disney Plus does fairly well with their cartoons. Well, the animated Star Wars more so than the Marvel. Like, there's been a couple episodes of What If that I thought were okay, but nothing blew my mind, you know? Been putting along, let's see, Eat, Hours, Disney Plus, because they added Criminal Minds, so I'm binging. Oh, a lot of hours on Disney Plus. Got it. I didn't know Criminal Minds was on there. I was just thinking of getting rid of it. And Criminal Minds isn't going to make me keep it, to be honest. Hype for Daredevil in March. That's true, Skew. That's very true. I can't wait for Born Again. And I guess if I get rid of it, I'd be a churner, I suppose. Yep, Dave, they did that Soups and Shazam. That's what I thought, Skew. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Andrew, because Alan Silvestri's score is awesome. You know what? That would be why the Avengers theme is in my head. I'm going to take that. I'm going to run with it. Appreciate the suggestion, Andrew. Dave keeps humming the Captain America theme. That's what I'm saying. I know. It's driving me crazy. Captain America was featured on this morning's Good Morning photo. He likes his coffee black and his mornings early. I need to be more like that. Acolyte was easily the worst show I've seen in years, and I've watched the latter season of the Arrowverse. Ghost have. I hate going off on tangents on the Acolyte, so I'm just going to say this and I'm done, in theory. It is the worst show I have ever seen, bar none. Like, yeah, that's it. That's it. It is the worst show I've ever seen. Simply because instantly the writing pulled me out when they weren't written as Jedi. And I saw season 3 of Transformers G1. That's gotta be a power draw. Okay. A lot of hours. I figured that's where you were going, man. No worries. X-Men 97, I couldn't wait to Wednesdays and I can watch it. It was just too awesome. Give us a Spider-Man series. Anton, that's gonna be is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. They don't tease it, but I think it's definitely in the air. I think there's definitely a possibility of that happening. But this latest ep of the Penguin is pretty awesome. Whoop. You aren't the Flash, Barry. We are the Flash. Iris West, CW Flash. Damn near yeeted myself into the ocean with that line. I had to say, yeet. Ah. All right. So those are some ideas. Let's see. What are some other things that you can use? Lighting is it's really going to be all about the lighting. So the LEDs I use my phone, I use my tablet, I use this actually. If you set it up correctly, you can use your reflector as the fill light. So that's pretty good stuff. That's pretty easy to do. They have some, I can't remember what they're called, and I should. You basically just can stand them, and they're like posts almost, like light posts that you just stand on your desk. And that way you can get them closer to the figures and control the lighting even better. I definitely need to pick some of those up. Ugh. Here I am yawning again, and I don't feel tired. I hate when that happens. You should watch the Spectacular Spider-Man. Great theme song. That'll be stuck in your head. I don't know if I need anything else stuck in my head like that. All right. So, for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, What are some of your latest pickups, and have you learned anything recently? This is a question that I'm going to throw in there. Have you learned anything about toy photography recently, or have you tried something where you were like, whoa, that turned out really cool that you hadn't tried before? I'm curious about that. I have to be honest, I've been so under a time crunch that I like constantly working on improving stuff. And I kind of feel like I'm going through the motions right now with my photography, and it's driving me crazy. I want to keep working on it, but I haven't been able to really progress like I'd like to recently. Hopefully in the next couple months, but we'll see. So yeah, if you have any tips, anything you've tried recently that you thought worked really well, or again, if you haven't answered the earlier question on what are your most recent pickups, let me know that. Like I said, I haven't picked up anything in a while, but I did pre-order the white Ken, like the Player 2 white Gi Ken from Jada, and I also pre-ordered the Hyper Bomb Mega Man from Jada. So that was exciting. I'm pretty excited about those. I kept going to Entertainment Earth because that's where the white Ken is an exclusive so far. So I would go there and he disappeared, and I'm like, crap. So finally, it happened a few times where he was in stock, then disappeared, in stock, disappeared. Finally, I was like, okay, next time he's up, I'm just pre ordering him. That's what I did. And then in order to get the free shipping, I ordered the Mega Man too. Anton, I find this chat really fun to talk to photo nerds, but I don't buy as many action figures. But I do buy a droid at Comic Con from Doctor, or you did buy a droid at Comic Con from Doctor Who. Which droid was it, Anton? I know. Let's see. To be honest, I only know Daleks. I think, or is it Dalek? I think it's Dalek, isn't it? I don't know things. Doctor Who, I really don't know. Whew, hold on, that jumped while I was clicking. Skew, they're coming back. All three Spideys. Let's see, and even more symbiotes and Agent Venom. Joe Manganiello, supposedly emergency awesome. Okay, those are rumors I hadn't heard yet. I went back to square one learning my camera settings, but I can say the COD Tactical Spawn and Action Force Series 5 fit pretty nicely together. Andrew, what do you think of the Praetorian? I keep needing to get a Praetorian and I haven't done it yet. And I'm just curious what you're thinking because that thing looks awesome to me. Oops. Push the button, you fiend. I'm the fiend. Latest pickup is the SH Figuarts Ultimate Gohan. I'm absolutely in love and used my twin ring lights to do recreate charge key light with both light full blast on bottom left and bottom right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know what the charge to recreate the charge key light. I'm not sure what that is, so I might have to look that up. Dang it. Go me not knowing things. But that sounds really cool. Just using a light from your setup to simulate some kind of power is awesome. Has anybody tried like the laser, like drawing with laser kind of light thing? I want to check that out. I haven't tried that yet. Dalek. Okay, Andrew, thank you. Whew. Never sure. I don't know things. The Elite Praetorian is awesome. Isn't the Elite the green one though? Because like the red one's where it's at. Sorry, Mr. Madsen. I gotta bust you from time to time. Sorry, Daleks are not robots. Oh, okay. But the droid I bought was a servant droid from a servant episode where they were saying we don't have the parts. Huh. What that's up to how many seasons or how many doctors are there now? And which doctor was that droid from? Oh man, so much Series 5-ness. In fact, yeah, anybody that has that red Praetorian rules haven't broken into the elite one yet, but those energy shield attachments are boss. Whoa. I kind of see the Praetorian as being They're just cool. Like that would just be a fun robot set. Bone Collector 2 and Elite Praetorian are considered Series 5. None others. Okay, Bone Collector 2 I've seen, and he looks cool too. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, chat. Have a work matter that needs my undivided attention. Going to have to watch the replay. Have an awesome night, all, and thanks a lot, Dave. You bet, sir. Enjoy. Well, okay, it's a work matter, but it sounds like you enjoy that. So good luck, man. Have fun. Mr. Manson, the Elite Praetorian makes a great Joe android. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you put him on the side of the Joe. See, I was thinking the Praetorian has this look of kind of a Terminator Predator hybrid and could almost be the next evolution. Like if I didn't load up on the Action Force universe, it almost looks to me like the next evolution of the Cobra Bat, which I think would be really cool. Skew, okay, let's see. No Senshi Atlas yet. Ah. When Dragon Ball Z characters charge their ki, it's like a flame coming from their feet, lighting them up from the sides, with their midsection being in darker than. Okay, okay. So it's like that light effect that SHF has, where it's like that kind of spiky at the top. Is that kind of what you're saying? Because then it's sort of like the figures are, or the characters are silhouetted by light that's sort of behind them. Is that close, or am I way off? That's all right. If I'm way off, let me know. Oh yeah, yeah. Colonel Siege looks awesome. I thought like my favorites when I looked at it were honestly the army builders. It was the Praetorian and what's the one? Was it the Recon soldier or something? The one that has the recon pack? That guy looks awesome. I don't think I'm getting any. I want Night Ops Senshi, but yep, there he goes again. The great David Tennant. Okay, Anton. I know who he is. So we're good. Sometimes people throw a doctor's name at me and I'm like, I should know. I don't know, but I know I should know. Gotcha. I want to get Senshi, then use Siege and the other dude for A Team Customs. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, now I have another one in my head. Praetorian reminds me of the drones from the RoboCop remake. Ooh, I haven't seen the RoboCop remake. I saw one. I saw the first one. Yeah, that's exactly it. All right, cool, cool. I appreciate it. But yeah, if I'm ever off, guys, I mean, don't be afraid at all to say, okay, Dave, you're way wrong, and here's what's up. Recon, okay. Thank you, Skew. That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember for sure. I know I've seen pictures of it fully armored up, and I thought, ooh, that looks cool. I think I just want Colonel Siege. Colonel Siege is sweet. Like I would probably get the army builders and Colonel Siege. Who else? And then, oh, what was the guy? Sidewinder. I thought Sidewinder was impressive just because of all the accessories he came with. Like I thought, okay, that's sweet because he came with tons of stuff and he's still not crazy pricey. Okay, so there's more. I'm trying to think of, I mean, obviously, one of the tips that you guys can use anytime, whenever you're using any of this stuff, is just it's a little more interesting when you're able to take a figure and light them up in a totally different color. Now, something that really helps separate a figure, for instance, Chun Li here is, in fact, here. Let me get rid of this. Chun Li is obviously all kinds of blue, so opposite is orange, but there are some theorists that say really The opposite is red, and I do think blue against red always looks really good. So let's try something on here. It's just something you can think about when you're doing this stuff. I'm going to go back to that Best Night Light app. Go here, and let's see. Ooh, look at that. Hey, I'm red now. Let's see. I was hoping to do a better job there, but she's got a lot of blue. Yeah, it's not really lighting her as well. Well, there's a little bit. So you can get, like, you could hit her with a lot of red and then hit her on the other side with white. So you see the true colors that she has, but then you see this crazy red combo that's sort of opposite of what she is. It's really good stuff. I wish I could show it to you better. Let's see if I can hide me a little bit. See if I can make this screen go a little darker. That's a little better, but it's not as good as I'd like to show. What I probably need to do is just a video with all these tips in one thing. But that would require time to do more videos, something I haven't had much of lately, but I know I need to because I'm there with YouTube. Like, I just need to do it now. When you said it, I remembered it, not before you said it. Sorry. Ah, the recon. Goodbye, Anton. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Fun fact, Siege's cigar isn't glued in if you ever want to replace it with, say, a party blower from a New Year's Eve picture. That would be hilarious. Colonel Siege with one of those things would crack me up. I didn't know it wasn't glued in. Did not know that. Yeah, that's really cool stuff. What else do we have that I could throw at you as far as crazy little tips? I know they've kind of been scattered all over. The hard part here is I wish I could set it up so that I had, say, a diode set up here. Like, I don't have a double camera setup. If I had a dual camera setup, I could have me just messing around in a diode so you could see what I'm thinking when I'm setting this stuff up. But something else that really helps is making sure that you've got a background and a foreground. Remember, some of my favorite anyway, and I don't know about you guys. You can let me know what you think. But some of my favorite photos are from guys like Warrior Evans. And if you're not following him, check his stuff out on Instagram. He's on X as well. But what he does, his figures, you look at his shots, they are completely immersed in the world that they're in. And that's because he worries about a lot of set dressing. You've got a background in there, you've got a foreground. Oftentimes the figures are in the midground. Sometimes what I'll do is if I've got, say, Captain America punching somebody, that's Captain America punching somebody, obviously, then what I'll do is I'll make the punchee the foreground. And then obviously that puts Captain America more at the midground, and then I have something set up in the background. But to me, those immersive shots are always the most fun. Now, some people really like the white backgrounds, the super clear stuff, maybe the black backgrounds, whatever. And I think those are very cool as well. It's really just a preference. So this is why I don't vote on the contests. Plus, I'm running the contest, so it wouldn't make sense. That probably wouldn't be a good thing. But that's just me. Like I said, what do you guys have as far as preferences for that stuff? Mighty D18, good camera recommendations for beginners. You know what? I would say for an absolute beginner, get a cheaper camera. And I have to be honest, I haven't looked at cameras in a long time. I have, let's see, an EOS, is it an EOS? Yeah, EOS 20D. I mean, my camera is ancient, but it still gets the job done because of the way I use lighting. So it's going to be more about the way you mess with the lighting than it is the camera itself. I would go out, and what I would do is I would try get on eBay because maybe you don't know that this is going to be something you love, right? So you don't want to go out and spend 1,500 or 2 grand on a really fancy camera. Instead, see if you can find a fairly cheap camera body, maybe not as old as 20D, because then you have to go out and try and find a SD card on eBay as well instead of just a Best Buy. But what you would do is you try and find a fairly cheap camera body, and then you get on eBay, see if you can find some fairly cheap lenses. And I will say, when it comes to cameras, one of the absolute best lenses you can get is an 18 to 55 millimeter, which is what comes with a lot of cameras. So it's kind of perfect. It gets fairly close to the figure, and you can do the diagonal shots, which will add to the action, which I guess is another tip I could have used here. But yeah, you can, that lens is awesome, and usually you can find a camera body really cheap, and if you can find a used lens just to mess with it and see what you think, then you'll know, really, you're kind of like, okay, I really like this. Now you look and upgrade. I will tell you, the last time I really looked at cameras, it's really a toss up between Canon and Nikon. It seems that those two are both pretty equal in quality. So that's what I've got. If anybody in the chat has anything to add, go for it. Because yeah, it really has been a while. Like that EOS 20D, that camera, like I started using it in 2006. It might have been a 2005 model. Like that is an old camera. All right, Toy Odyssey, so in love with Mofex Cabin DD. Yeah, yeah, I got to put, yeah, put up pictures of both of them today. I love those figures. I mean, I'm shameless in my love of Mofex, though. I love that line. Yeah, that was a pleasant little surprise. This is me needing to catch up, apparently. Think I've seen some of his pics. If I'm thinking of the right guy, yeah, those pics are awesome. Warrior Evans, yeah, yeah. He just does, like, his stuff. Like, there's a lot of great photographers online right now. I just particularly like his stuff because of it just feels like you're immersed in the world that he's created. Good beginner camera is Sony A6000. Fantastic. Thank you, Toy Odyssey. Sci-Fi George. I have 2 Elite Praetorians, Bone Collector, 1 Atlas, 1 Colonel Siege, 3 Senshi, 4 Praetorians, 1 Sidewinder, 3 Recon Ops, 3 Recon Gear Packs, 1 India pack, waiting for my 3 Night Ops Senshi from BBTS. Sci-Fi George, that is awesome, man. Congratulations. That is a serious haul. Now, so is all that waiting at BBTS, or do you have some of that and you're just waiting for the India pack? So the reason I'm asking is I'm wondering what you think of Sidewinder, just because of all the stuff he comes with. When I saw his loadout, I thought, okay, that's really cool. Mr. Matson, my best cameras are film. My wife has the good digital cameras. You know, my folks got into photography way back before I was born, and they had a dark room, but I was too young to mess in the dark room. And then when we moved out of that house, they no longer had the dark room, so I never played in a dark room, and I would love to figure that out. I took a photography course in college. That is my professional training. Everything else is just trial and error. Playing is always my favorite thing to do with this kind of stuff. Sergeant Bananas takes pictures that are like master classes in composition and lighting. That is true. That is true. He does incredible stuff as well. Yeah, there's so many great photographers out there, guys. Like, if you just look around, and many of them are very cool. Like Mate Mylar, maybe I Mate Mylar, I believe. He's on X. He's on Instagram as well. He takes GI Joe pictures, and he's so cool. He's one of the coolest dudes because he took some pictures of bats, and he always uses practical effects, and he did something where, like, these bats looked like they were just getting shot up just with this crazy light. And I just sent him a message and said, hey, how did you get that effect? And it was something like he formed some hot glue that he was able to put on there and lit him up from behind. Like everything he does is practical. And he's such a cool guy because he was straight up, oh, yeah, this is what I did. You know, you find really cool people. Nobody's going to sit there and try and hide their secrets or anything. Like, if anybody ever sees any of my pictures and wants to know how I did something, fire off an email or message or whatever platform you see it on. I am happy to answer. That's part of the point of Toypixx. But yeah, you find the right people, you can just ask them what they did, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh man, this was it. That's all." I worked the Walgreens photo department in 2000, 2001. Closest I ever came to a dark room. That's awesome. I never did that either. It's sadness. Another great practical photographer is Plastic Snaps. Ooh, I'll have to check out Plastic Snaps. I'm not sure that I follow that one. Actually, I'll look right now. I'm assuming he's on Instagram, correct? Let's see. Watch. I probably do, and it's bad that I haven't. Let's see here. Plastic Snaps, search. Oh, didn't show up on here. Lame. He might be on X. Or I typed something wrong. Sci-Fi George, I have all except the three Senshi night ops from BBTS. I do like Sidewinder, but Senshi is my favorite, followed by Praetorians and then Sidewinder. Really? So why is Senshi your favorite? Do you just like the look, or is there just something really special about the figure? He's always featured in ACBA photography. Okay, okay. Maybe that's where I have to look. But he's got to be, I mean, if he's on ACBA, he's got to be on here somewhere. Lame. I wonder, hang on. Let's try that. Oh, you know what? That was my fault. I didn't get the S in there. There we go. Ah, I think I found him. Yeah, I thought that I did well, and instead what it was I put Platic Snaps. So I've got him now. Thank you, Toy Odyssey. I appreciate it. A lot of folks like Action Force Trigger. Yeah, I've heard the Trigger is really cool. I haven't picked that one up. Trigger is fire. I like just saying fire. But yeah, one of the good things about if you guys go and you check out my Captain America video that I did, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. Check that. What I do is I show kind of the posing and all that stuff. So I show just your basic punch kicks, running, and then I showed some just Captain America specific poses where he's kind of hiding himself behind the shield and where he's throwing the shield, that kind of thing. So I did that. But one of the things that I'm not sure I mentioned in that video, and something again that I'll dive into a little deeper here that I just mentioned a little bit ago, is the angle thing. So with Chun Li, what you could do is, let's see, just forming her up, getting Chun Li ready to throw down right now. Wow. She's a really cool figure, by the way. If you don't have Chun Li, you should totally have Chun Li. But anyway, okay, so here's just a quick pose of Chun Li. And what I'm gonna do now is instead of you're gonna get all this stuff in the background, instead of just taking a straight on shot of her, I'm gonna try. Gonna shoot this angle. Let me crop this real quick. And you'll see that just adding Shooting at an angle adds a little bit different kind of drama to the whole thing. So right there, I shot her at an angle instead of like straight on. And it just adds a little something extra. It shows a little more action in the shot. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this stuff too. You're taking pictures of action figures. If you want them in action, diagonals help a lot. One of the things that I did talk about in that Captain America video is you want to make sure that when you're showing a punch, for instance, and this is something I learned in How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, when you're throwing a punch, you want the aftermath of the punch to be the thing that you see because that's where the most drama is. Like if you're actually just like that's not an interesting picture. But if instead it's that, that's a more interesting picture. That's the deal there. You also basically the more extreme the movement, the better the shot. So if your arm is just back like this and then it stretches like this, those two shots, like back and then all the way across, those two are where you're going to get the most drama in the shot. It's the same with kicking, it's the same with jumping. Generally, jumping, I guess it's more fun to have them kind of at the height of their jump. But if you're going for the really crazy action, you go for some crazy diagonals and you go from the beginning or the end. You start at the beginning, you shoot at the beginning, or you shoot at the end of the action. See, Trigger was a sleeper. He's great. And he's getting a re-release, isn't he? I know that they're making new heads for him. Woohoo! Rock. I really love Senshi's look. Plus, his armor makes it easy to customize your own. Oh, okay. I didn't even think of that, Sci-Fi George. That's awesome. Thank you. Because, yeah, I didn't think of that when I was looking at him. Skew Spiro has a Bushido line on the way too to go with Senshi, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, etc. I still need to get the retro Snake Eyes, or I'm sorry, the retro Storm Shadow, just because extra hands. And really, it's also because I have a G.I. Joe collection, but no Storm Shadow. That's a little messed up. All right. Well, folks, I don't know that I have too much more to add when it comes to this stuff without having some kind of dual camera setup. So if you guys have something else to add when it comes to action figure photos, let me know. If not, what we'll do is I'll close this out about 8:30. So at this point, hey, what are you looking forward to? What's something that you can't wait to see? Are you already Christmas shopping or anything like that? Or even better, are you shopping for yourself because you know Christmas season is about to hit hard? I know for me, every time Christmas season comes along, I'm like, well, guess I can't buy much for me now. I might change a little bit this year though. After all, I still need to get enough figures to make a top 10. Da, 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 da. See, there it is again. And I don't know. Ooh, I have Optimus Prime on the table over there too. Best leader in pop culture. Optimus Prime. Full stop. Although there was an argument that somebody made today for Captain America and Leonardo. I can see the argument for Captain America. I'm not sure about Leonardo. You guys will have to let me know what you think of that. Bobby was talking about making a Day of the Dead version of Sidewinder next year. Trigger 2.0 will be out this year. A Day of the Dead version of Sidewinder. That would be super sweet. Ooh, maybe I just wait for that. No, 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 no. I mean, Sidewinder wasn't really on the list anyway, but I mean, I still thought he looked really cool. So we'll see. I think where my Action Force love is going to be, it's kind of the same with Monster Force. I think it's going to be that I'm going to dive into those two lines for my army builders so that I can have like Chun-Li versus a bunch of vampires or a bunch of Praetorians or something like that, you know? And we all know that whatever would happen, she'd kick the crap out of them. Who see, you can see she's doing it right now. I don't have her accessories with her, sadly. I mean, I have her accessories. They're just not down here with me right now. Ah, Chun Li. She's crazy. All right. Well, we've got nothing going on here in the chat now, guys. So instead of 8:30, how about I just call it now? Anywho, I knew that that would probably happen. It's tough to do a live stream about toy photography with everything. So hold on, we got Skew, Cap and Optimus, great choices. Batman, Martian Manhunter, Mr. Terrific, your choice, JLA. I don't know much about Mr. Terrific. Batman, oh, I don't know. Batman is a leader. I do see I see Batman as a loner, but at the same time, he will take the bullet for the team, no doubt, which is one of those crucial things for a leader. I think Martian Manhunter, same thing. I need to learn more about Mr. Terrific, to be honest. I don't know enough when it comes to him. Ghost Tab, I like your photos. Lighting is good. Thank you, Ghost Tab. I appreciate it. I need to get back to playing a little more instead of, like I say, I feel like I'm going through the motions and it's driving me crazy. Let's see, Mo Howard for leader. I don't know. I don't know. Who, if Mo is leader, who's his second in command? Batman is a strategist. He knows how to effectively use people as assets. This is true, but a leader doesn't necessarily. He would know how to put together a great team, but would he be able to lead that team so much? I don't know. Just because you're a brilliant strategist doesn't make you a brilliant leader. Like Batman, I don't see as being the inspirational guy to give them a reason to fight, you know? I see Superman as more of that guy. So, like, Batman could be the behind the scenes guy saying, okay, here we go, Clark, this is what's up. And Clark, because he knows Batman's a brilliant strategist, would be sitting there saying, okay, everybody, here's what's up. Take care, Skew. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. Great. Googly moogly. Sci-Fi George, Larry Fine is like, okay, I wasn't sure. You're never quite sure. Sometimes, like there are arguments with Pinky and the Brain, there's arguments that Pinky was the actual brains of the outfit. So I know Curly, you know, you're going to assume that he's not all that great, but maybe he was the brains. I don't know, though. It's been a while since I've seen the Three Stooges, too. Plus, Batman owns a company. He can put people in an effective team to be productive. If it doesn't work, you fire, sucker. That's fair. That's fair. Anand Shah, love your photos. Keep up the great work. What has been your most favorite figure to shoot recently? I need to get my hands on the Mafex Superman and Batman from Hush. Ooh, recently I will say Captain America. I love Daredevil, and if I look at the two of them objectively, and I'm talking the Mafex ones, if I look at them objectively, I think Daredevil is the better figure. But I love the character of Captain America, and he's got the shield. He does all the things. He's awesome. I mean, he's almost as awesome as Daredevil. What really sells me on Daredevil being great are the butterfly joints. Like, you look at those, his arms can go all the way back. It's ridiculous. So, those have been my favorite recently. But all time, I have to say that Hush Batman might be one of my absolute favorites. I love that figure. But part of that is because it was my first Mafex figure and totally changed the course of my collecting. But thanks for stopping in, Anand. I appreciate it. Uh, That might be another reason why I'm humming Captain America. Pinky was more of the trophy wife. Narf. Woof. Woof. I don't know. Flint. Flint was a brilliant leader and a brilliant tactician as well. Flint led by example. Duke leads behind a poster. And Jeffrey Lyles, happy for Retro Flint too, and me too. Awesome, man. I haven't seen is Lyles because I know what it's Lyles figure files, right? I haven't seen his stuff pop up as much. Is he still on quite a bit? I know for a while he was on all the time. Black Panther's leader. See, I can see Black Panther being leader. I can see him pulling it off pretty well. I mean, when you're a king, his people will follow him for sure. And he's a benevolent king. He's not like Victor Von Doom. I don't know why his people love him, but they do. T'Challa, that's a king right there. I like Hawk and Stalker too. Beachhead in a pinch too. Hawk and Stalker, I give Hawk and Stalker a pass for sure. Beachhead, I don't know. I mean, I read most of the comic to be honest, and Beachhead never seemed like he did much in that, and he was just the annoying, smelly guy in the cartoon. So I don't know much about Beachhead. His file card made him sound really cool, though. Daredevil has a better character design than Cap. Daredevil has a clapper, or oh geez, clapper has a better backstory, and he also has a better parking space. He does have a better parking space. That's true. Let's see. You are not alone as leader. Agreed. Black Panther and Cap all the way. Yeah, Black Panther's a good call. I don't know why I didn't think. Probably because I don't have a Black Panther figure yet. Come on, somebody make me an awesome comic book Black Panther. Old school Nick Fury. I don't know that you can think of Nick Fury as a leader, only because, and I know he was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he had secrets upon secrets upon secrets, things that weren't, you know how they'll say, need to know basis, you don't need to know. Only Nick Fury knew a lot of that stuff. So if he went down, they were totally hosed. So I don't know. I mean, people would follow him, but now I'm just curious. As oh no, the chat's picking up. Oh no, what they announced Retro Flint? I almost lost, or when they announced Retro Flint, I almost lost it. Same here, Toy Odyssey. My only hope is he comes with some extra gloved hands. I know that he'll be basically a repainted Duke, so hopefully he'll end up with some gloved hands and extras. Nick Fury. Ooh, I don't know. Compartmentalization. Man, I'm speaking really slowly when I try. It's getting rough. Flint as a leader, fan of. Sorry, I was typing too fast. You're good, Skew. I figured that you were a fan of Flint as well. Thanks for replying. Hopefully, at some point, Mafex does a comic Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. I love Mafex articulation. Also, appreciate the newsletter. Awesome, Anand. I appreciate that you appreciate it, man. I'm never sure with a newsletter, but I do enjoy writing it. So I'm glad you dig it. And yeah, I can't wait when Mafex did Bane. Like, I wanted to get Bane. I wanted him anyway, but I also wanted him as kind of a project. I wanted to see how would Mafex, sorry, handle larger figures, and they knocked it out of the park with that Bane. So I think they could really do a good job on the Hulk. I would love it if they did Black Widow and Hawkeye. If they gave us a Black Panther comic style. If they gave us a Vision. Oh man, if they built out the Avengers like they've been building out the X-Men, that would be awesome. And ooh, now with Daredevil, if they went street level and started going with all that stuff, ooh, that would be too much fun. Whew. Anton, it's all about Spider-Man with Marvel. Let's see, all about Batman with DC. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's become. And Spider Man actually turns out to be a decent leader from time to time, too. Doctor Doom is a better king than Black Panther because his country represents his success, so he prioritizes their success over anybody else. His ego won't tolerate for other countries to outdo him. This is fair. This is fair. That is a fair call. I didn't think of it in those. Yeah, okay, okay. I'll accept that, Ghost Tab. That's not bad. I think I would prefer Black Panther as my leader, but I can see the argument for Doctor Doom. Let's see. I like Phil Coulson as a leader. Huh. Resurrected, huh? It's not bad. Phil Coulson's not bad. Nick Fury also led the Howling Commandos, just as Cap led the Invaders. Let's see. And well as the Avengers. This is true too. I've never read a Howling Commandos story. You said that, and I started thinking about it. I'm going, oh dear. Batman is a businessman and has leadership skills, project manager power. His biggest drawback is that his team needs. Let's see. I don't think his team does, and here's why. He's already a billionaire. I doubt that Wayne Enterprises is a publicly traded company. He kept that all in the family. Because if it were, ooh, I don't know. Was it a publicly traded company in the Nolan movies? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I think I will say, and I think we would all say that just because somebody has that manager title doesn't necessarily mean they're a great leader. But I don't know that, I don't know. Batman is a funny one because he's got a lot of the leadership quality. I just don't see, I see it being more following him out of fear than following him out of respect, depending. Like if you don't know him very well, you're following him out of fear. If you know him well, like if you're Superman or Wonder Woman or anybody in the Justice League, you're following him out of respect. So maybe that's how I should look at it. Is the Justice League would totally be like, all right, Batman, you got point on this. Magneto and the Acolytes and Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I mean, I guess. Magneto's such a bad dude from time to time. A Mafex Moon Knight would be great. I really love the show. I'm surprised besides Hasbro Marvel Legends, Mezco and recent Rebel Tech figure, they haven't done a Moon Knight in Mafex or SHF. I wonder how successful, like they didn't even really do Falcon and the Winter Soldier figures, did they? I'm just not sure. I don't even know that they did much when it came to, oh man, when it came to WandaVision. I'm not sure. I think they've stuck mostly to the movies, but I would love a Moon Knight too, and that would be awesome, especially for Mafex. Apocalypse and his four horsemen. Oh, that's just about destruction, man. Would you follow Apocalypse and his four horsemen? Let's go with that. Wayne Enterprises had stocks which Bane collapsed. Ah, okay, okay. Fortunately, that was just the Nolan universe. That's going to be my caveat. Is it in the comics? If it's publicly traded in the comics, then I got nothing. Got it. That's right. That's right. I forgot all about that little side thing. Batman can show a softer side. He has saved many lives where he apologized and said he wished he was faster. He said the kid a car that was sinking. Let's see. He said to a kid in a car that was sinking. Hmm. Yeah, Bats is a good dude, that's for sure. Yes, they did. We need a season two of Moon Knight. It was one of the Disney Plus shows that I liked. Definitely better than the Bucky and Falcon show. And that made me sad. I really wanted the Bucky and Falcon show to be great. That was my kind of thing. I got a Falcon and Winter Soldier Zemo for his trench coat. Was that Did they do that with SHF or MothX, or was that just Legends? Because I know Legends did like figures based on the shows, but I was speaking more about SHF and MothX when it came to that stuff. Moon Knight season 2 is coming, or Midnight Suns movie. Stay tuned. Ooh, ooh. I did like how they left off Moon Knight season 2. That was curious there. That was Legends. Okay, okay, that's what I thought. Just wasn't 100% on that. All right, guys, it's time. It's time to call this one. Next time, hopefully, I do a photo stream. What I can do is have a two-camera setup. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I gotta get things a little more settled before I can get too fancy. But I think it's coming. I'm pretty excited. Ah, my bad. I was away for a phone call. Don't worry about it, Andrew. Not at all, man. But that's it. So later goes Tav. See you, Skew. Thanks as always for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate the chats. You're a blast to talk to, and it's always fun to do. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. Now I hit end stream and we get awkward as I wave and I don't